interact with people there, and if you say, hey Adam, you got to cover this, you know, if you just post a link up there and say, hey Adam, I'd really like you to cover this, I'll look at it when I can, and usually respond and say, well, I'm going to cover this like this, or we mentioned this already, or I'm not going to cover it because of whatever, you know. And if I ever say, hey, I'm not going to cover something, and you submit it on my wall, and 3 or 4 more people submit it, it'll get covered. So, you know, I'm not going to deny giving the audience what they want. If people still have questions. Yes, sir. The question was, would you be interested in coming down to Orlando to cover what Food Not Bombs is doing in civil disobedience, distributing food around City Hall? We've covered it briefly on the show, and whether or not coming down to Orlando works, I don't know. But as things escalate, and I have been following it, we covered it when there were the first arrests. It was just 5 people or 6 people. No, the first one was just 3, and then you know, we've been following. Then there was 6, and I know you guys are you from Orlando? Or are you working on that? Outstanding. Well, more likely, I'd like to interview someone when it gets to the next point in the escalation. But especially if you know anybody who is hacking the city government and the Chamber of Commerce pages as anonymous. No, okay. Definitely want to talk to that, because I think that's really key to this, and the way that the internet strikes back against these kind of offenses to humanity. For those of you that don't know, in the city of Orlando, they've made it illegal to distribute food within 2 miles of City Hall. And so Food Not Bombs, which is what anarcho-syndicalist, communist kind of group. Yeah, I mean, I would have liked to call them the Kucinich types until Kucinich was a sellout. But what they're doing is calling attention to the fact that people are suffering here and not able to feed themselves, and they're doing these campaigns where they feed homeless people or anybody who comes up and needs help, and they're doing it now in civil disobedience around the City Hall in Orlando, and it covers parks, and they were doing it in a park last week, and there were 6 of them working on food. They were feeding fucking kids. I mean, like under 10 years old, 5 to 10-year-old kids, and 20 cops come out, you know, and these jerk-offs, they're wearing like shorts, you know, and they've got the zip ties, like they're about to go arrest a bunch of protesters, and there were 6 of them got carried away. And the thing that was so disgusting about that particular arrest, and this is something we might get into, is how